Hello everyone, I am Kushal. Today we're going to discuss about digital and communication, and the topic is analyze the modulation techniques in digital TV broadcasting. And let us move on to the contents. And what about the contents of today's modulation techniques in the digital TV broadcasting, introduction to digital TV, analog and digital transmission, frequency modulation, amplitude modulation, quadrature amplitude modulation, orthogonal frequency device modulation, and advantages and disadvantages, and finally conclusion. Let's move on to the first topic, modulation techniques in digital communication broadcasting. The explore of the modulation technique, a part of digital communication broadcasting, we will into different types of modulation, comparing to advantages and disadvantages in transmitting high quality TV signals. And let us move on to the introduction of digital TV and digital revolution. The digital TV revolution brought about significant improvements in the picture quality, sound clarity, and signal stability. And coming to the digital signals are represented by the binary codes, providing a more robust and error resistant transmission compared to analog signals. Let us move on to the analog versus digital transmissions. Let us discuss about the analog transmissions. Analog signals are a continuous waveforms susceptible to noise and inference, leading to degraded quality. And digital transmission, digital signals are discrete, more resilient to the noise and inference, resulting in clear, more stable transmission. Then let us move on to the frequency modulation concept. In frequency modulation, the frequency of the carrier wave is varied in a proportional to the amplitude of the modulation signals. Applications: frequency modulation is widely used in a radio broadcasting and analog TV sound transmissions. And let us move on to the AM. AM means amplitude modulations. In amplitude modulation concept, amplitude modulation, the amplitudes of the carrier waves is accordance with the modulating signals. And applications of the amplitude modulations, amplitude modulation is commonly used in a radio broadcasting and some older TV systems. Let us move on to the QAM, quadrature amplitude modulation concept. QAM transmitter information by varying both amplitude and phase of the carrier waves. Application: QAM is used in a digital communication broadcasting, cable TV, and high speed internet connections. Let us move on to the orthogonal frequency division multiplexing concept. Orthogonal frequency division multiplexing, the availability bandwidth into a multiple orthogonal subcarriers transmission data on each subcarries independently. Advantages: robust against the multipath fading and infrastructure, leading to improved performance in challenging environments. Advantages: robust against multiplexing fading and infrastructure, leading to improved performance in a challenging environment. Let us move on to the advantages and disadvantages of modulation techniques. In first advantages of frequency modulation: high fidelity but suspendability to noise and inference. And move on to the amplitude modulation: simple to implemented but prone to noise and limited bandwidth. And QAM QAM, quadrature amplitude modulation, and high data rate but susceptibility to non-linear distortion. And orthogonal frequency division multiplexing, and robust against multipath but complete to implement. And finally, we are moving on to the conclusion and the further trends of these topic, and four takeaways are there. Digital TV broadcasting release an advanced modulation techniques to ensure the reliable and high quality transmissions. And let us see once again the PPTs, and this is the advantages and disadvantages. Let us come in modulation techniques in digital broadcasting. Today we are discussing these topics in introduction to digital TV, analog and difference between analog and digital transmissions, frequency modulation, amplitude modulation, quadrature modulation, orthogonal frequency multiplexing, and advantages and disadvantages of modulation techniques, and finally conclusion. We are discussing these topics in today's session. Thank you.